My daughter told her fiancé I was dead to her, so I made sure she felt the same on her big day. I skipped the wedding and took back the $20,000 I paid for it. The look on her face when she realized what I did was priceless. Hello everyone, welcome to Reddit Visuals. Sometimes I wonder if people are born cruel, or if life just chisels away their empathy one selfish decision at a time. I used to believe family loyalty was sacred, until my daughter shattered that illusion like a wine glass at her bridal shower. My name's Mark, and I never thought I'd be the villain in my daughter's wedding story. But here we are. I've always been the stable parent. My ex-wife, Dana, left when our daughter Lily was 8. She said motherhood wasn't for her, that she needed to find herself. Translation: she moved to Bali with a yoga instructor and came back 6 years later pretending she had never skipped a beat. Lily was devastated when Dana left. I remember her clinging to me that first night, whispering, "Mommy doesn't love me anymore, does she?" I stayed up till dawn, telling her that wasn't true, that people leave, but it doesn't mean they stop loving you. I fed her lies just so she could sleep. I raised Lily alone. I cooked, cleaned, juggled 2 jobs, and still made every parent-teacher conference and dance recital. I was there for her heartbreaks, her triumphs, her SAT prep, her college tours. I even cried in secret when she got into NYU, because I knew I couldn't afford it, and then I worked 2 extra shifts to make sure she could go. So yeah, I thought we were close. I thought that meant something. But when Lily met Thomas, everything started to shift. Thomas came from money. His parents owned some real estate firm in Connecticut, and they were the kind of people who called me quaint to my face because I worked in public education. They threw dinner parties with $300 wine, and I showed up in loafers from Kohl's. You get the idea. Still, I smiled. I congratulated them. I offered to pay for the wedding, not because they needed the money, but because it meant something to me. It was my way of saying, I'm here. I'm proud of you. I want to be part of this. Lily didn't say no. She just said, "Are you sure, Dad?" "It's a lot." And I said, "Of course I'm sure. It's your wedding." That was mistake number 1. Over the next few months, I started noticing things. She'd dodge my calls. Wedding meetings would, accidentally, happen without me. I wasn't invited to the tasting. The florist didn't even have my number. Then came the bombshell. I wasn't giving her away. Lily said it casually, like she was telling me she ordered chicken instead of beef. "Thomas's dad will be walking me down the aisle," she said, sipping her iced coffee. I thought I misheard. "What?" She looked at me, dead in the eye. "You've always been more like a friend, Dad, not a father figure. Thomas's dad is more traditional." I laughed. I actually laughed, because I thought it was a joke. But she wasn't smiling. "I paid for this entire thing," I said, stunned. "Yeah, but that doesn't mean you get to dictate the experience." The next day I called the caterer. I called the venue. I called the band. Every deposit was in my name. And that's when I paused. That's when the seed of revenge was planted. But I didn't do anything yet. A week before the wedding, I got a phone call I wasn't meant to hear. Lily had butt dialed me, or maybe left her phone on during a conversation. I don't know, but what I heard broke me. She was talking to Thomas. They were laughing. "I just can't wait till this is over," she said. "I swear he's so needy, like he still wants to play daddy when he barely has any money." Thomas laughed. "Did you tell him yet?" "About what?" "That we're cutting him off after the wedding. No contact. You said he was dead to you, remember?" "I haven't told him. Let him have his moment. He'll fade away after the honeymoon. He always does." Dead to her. Dead to her. The girl I raised, protected, sacrificed for... Said I was dead to her? I sat in my car for an hour, parked outside the grocery store, replaying that phrase over and over in my mind. And then I made a decision. If I was dead to her, she'd feel what it was like to lose something in the middle of her fairy tale. I waited until the morning of the wedding. She was supposed to get married at a vineyard an hour outside the city. I knew the timeline. Hair and makeup at 9 a.m., photos at noon, ceremony at 4. At 7:30 a.m., I called every vendor. I pulled every cent. The band, canceled. The caterer, refunded. The florist, flowers never delivered. The venue, I had paid half. I let them keep it, told them the wedding was off, and then I turned off my phone. I wasn't going to explain myself, not yet. At 8:12 a.m., Lily called me 17 times in a row. I didn't answer. At 9:04, Thomas's mother called me. I let it ring. By 10 o'clock, I had 43 missed calls. Then came the text from Lily. What the fuck did you do? Still, I said nothing. I went to a steakhouse. I ordered the most expensive bottle of bourbon they had. I toasted myself. And I waited. At 5:47 p.m., Lily sent me a photo. She was standing in the middle of the vineyard, makeup smeared, mascara running, hair undone, and the ceremony space was empty. No chairs, no flowers, no food, no music. And in the background you could see Thomas yelling at someone on the phone, probably the planner. Under the photo she wrote, "Are you happy now?" I didn't reply. I wanted her to sit in it, to sit in that silence, in that absence, in the same absence she was planning to leave me in. I didn't reply that night. I didn't reply the next morning either. She called. She texted. She even had her maid of honor, a girl I hadn't spoken to in 3 years, call me and say, "Lily is having a breakdown. Are you proud of yourself?" And honestly, in that moment, I didn't feel proud. I felt numb. But I knew I had finally drawn a line. For the first time in my life, I made her feel the consequences of treating someone like they're disposable. 3 days later, she showed up at my front door. She didn't knock at first. She just stood there, on the porch, makeup free, holding her heels in one hand and her phone in the other. Her eyes were swollen. I opened the door but didn't say anything. She said, "You embarrassed me." I said, "You disowned me." She blinked, and for a second, I saw that little girl again. The one who used to crawl into bed with me when thunderstorms scared her. She said, "You ruined my wedding." I said, "You buried your father." That's when she started crying. Not the loud kind. Not the manipulative soap opera sobs. Silent tears. Real ones, I think. "I didn't mean it," she said. "You said I was dead to you," I whispered. "You laughed about it." "It was just venting. I was frustrated. I didn't mean it like that." "But you meant it enough to plan an entire future without me." She stepped forward, like she was about to hug me. I stepped back. I said, "You can't insult the bridge, and then expect it to carry you across." She left, slowly, quietly. The next time I saw her was a month later. In a Facebook photo someone tagged me in. She was at the courthouse, wearing a plain white dress, standing next to Thomas, holding a bouquet that looked like it came from the gas station. They got married after all, without the bells, without the vineyard, without the $20,000 show, and without me. 2 weeks later, she sent me a message. It said, "I'm sorry, I was stupid, I miss you." I didn't reply. Because here's the thing, apologies don't fix bullets after they've been fired, words don't rewind time, and trust, once fractured like this, doesn't always glue back together neatly. But I'm not heartless. I've read that text 100 times. Sometimes I want to answer. Sometimes I type a reply and delete it. Because here's what no one tells you about being a parent. It's not just about raising your child. It's about letting them fall and resisting the urge to catch them when they made sure you weren't part of their safety net in the first place. My sister told me I should have still gone to the wedding. My ex-wife, who didn't contribute a cent, had the audacity to text me saying, "That was cruel, Mark. She's your daughter." I responded with one sentence, "You left her too. You just did it earlier than I did." Now, some people online have been calling me heartless. I get it. It's easy to villainize the man who pulls the rug out at the altar. It's harder to look at the years before that moment. The sleepless nights, the sacrifice, the forgiveness I gave her over and over again. Lily wasn't always this way. There was a time when she adored me. We had father-daughter movie nights. We'd eat pancakes for dinner when money was tight. She'd write me Father's Day cards with crayon drawings of us as superheroes. So when did she decide I was just a wallet? That's what I keep asking myself. Was it the money? Was it Thomas? Was it the years she spent watching everyone around her praise her mother, the woman who bailed, while I did the grunt work? Was I just too available? There's something people don't talk about, the quiet bitterness that builds in people who never get a break. I was her constant, and maybe in being so dependable, I became invisible. But on that day, her big, curated, Instagram-worthy day, I made damn sure she saw me, or at least the shadow I left behind when I walked away. Do I regret it? Honestly, some nights I do. Some nights I think I should have shown up, smiled through the pain, let her pretend I didn't hear her say I was dead to her. But most nights, I sleep better knowing that I finally set a boundary. People say parents should never give up on their kids. But what do you do when your kid gives up on you first? Now here's where I need your help, Reddit visuals. Was I the a-hole for what I did? Should I have just sucked it up and let her walk all over me one more time for the sake of keeping the peace? Or was this the one time where I was finally justified in standing up for myself, even if it meant blowing up her wedding in the process? Let me know what you would have done in the comments. I really want to hear your take. And hey, if you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and keeps the stories coming. Thanks for watching.